On Monday, 3rd October 2022, the then newly elected Kenyan President, Dr. William Ruto, chaired a special meeting of his freshly appointed cabinet, in which a raft of resolutions was passed. This included the approval of the cultivation of genetically modified crops and imports into Kenya. The new cabinet vacated a decision made on 8th November 2012 by the cabinet of the then President Mwai Kibaki, prohibiting the open cultivation of genetically modified crops and the importation of food crops and animal feeds produced through biotechnology innovations. This effectively lifted the ban on genetically modified crops.
The whole of South Africa, 100% GMO. Marekani, 100% GMO. Nchi zingine, 100% GMO. Umesikia mtu amemea pembe huko South Africa kwa sababu alikula GMO? Ama amemea miguu? Ama wamama amemea ndevu? Nasikia watu wengine wanasema sijui nani atamea nini. You know, hii ni porojo na propaganda ya watu ambao hawataki tuwe na uwezo wa kuzalisha chakula ya kutosha.
Now, a group of Ugandan farmers and food rights activists have protested the move by filing a petition challenging it in the East African Court of Justice.
We want court to order Kenya to stop the GMO madness. They should back off our food. Our food is African. They should not conscript all East Africans into the GMO madness.
The Executive Director of Food Rights Alliance, Agnes Chirabo, welcomed the petition, saying that GMOs in neighboring Kenya will somehow find their way into Uganda.
GMOs are causing cancer. GMOs are known to cause allergies. GMOs are causing deformities.
Any effort to save humanity is good enough. Because the people that are pushing for GMOs are running a narrative that there are so many millions of people sleeping hungry, which is true. But it is also not true that people are inventing a technology of that nature, a destructive technology, by the way, to feed the people. It is because they are looking at that as an opportunity to push their agenda and make money.
The food rights activists argue that genetically modified crops are not fit for human consumption, and Kenya's approval of them was a dangerous move for the region and should be strongly resisted.
Uganda has not allowed GMOs. The law came to parliament and even the president did not sign the law. Twice, 2 times, he refused to sign. Tanzania the same, Rwanda the same, Burundi is the same. Why should Kenya allow this monster to come into East African community? It should stop.
I think the East African community needs to pronounce themselves on it. But it's not only pronouncing themselves on the decision of Kenya, but pronouncing itself, I think, bringing the issues of food and how we want to eat and trade in the outside economy as the East African community. Because the risks that Kenya is opening up are going to be open to the rest of the East African communities.
Chirabo and David Kabanda, the Executive Director of Center for Food and Adequate Living Rights, who is one of the lead petitioners, want Ugandans to stand up and fight for what's right instead of leaving it upon government to define their fate on what to eat.
We want to call upon all East Africans to be alert, because you don't know whether the seed you are planting is a GMO.
It is incumbent on our current generation to hand over a safe, sustainable, reliable, credible food system to a generation that is going to come behind us.
President Museveni has previously twice refused to sign into law the National Biotechnology and Biosafety Bill 2012, despite approval by Parliament to regulate the process of genetic engineering. The president argued that genetically modified crops that cannot be replanted will make Ugandans slaves to the seed makers in Europe and other Western powers. John Jimmy Musimbi, Church of Uganda Family TV, News at 8.